I'm Claire. If you're watching this, then I hope you enjoy this product of procrastination. And if this is your first time here, then all you need to know about me for now is that I have no clue what I'm talking about. But I'm going to talk about it anyway. Today, we're going to be catching up on my fantasy season. I haven't talked about how the team's doing in 3 going on 4 weeks, so it's time to catch up on weeks 9, 10, and 11, and because I procrastinated so much on making this video, this recap video, we will also be catching up on the week happening right now, so get ready for some week 12 updates. The big news, obviously, is that we got our second win of the season. That's right, week 10, Bajan and Murray combined for 50 points, which was about half of the points that the team got. But it was enough to beat out the guy who is currently in 4th in the league, so that can't feel good for him. Frankly, every other team in the league has circled as a week where they don't really have to think much about what they're doing. Unfortunately, that's where the good news ends. The rest of the last 3 weeks has been characterized by a series of teeny tiny little mistakes that will be hard to come back from. Although, to be honest, it's not like we were going to come back from the first 8 weeks of this season. So what are some catastrophic mistakes that we can't come back from going to do? Except potentially affect how next season goes. We might actually have screwed ourselves for next season, so that's kind of a bummer. And on top of that, we managed to bungle 2 different trades, which doesn't affect us either this season or the next, but it is kind of impressive. Since the primary focus of this channel is to complain about things and analyze the things that I think are mistakes, let's take a closer look at the 2 biggest fuck-ups of the last 3 weeks. Starting with the one we made in week 9. Before week 9, we had decided that we needed to drop Greg Zerling. Our primary motivation for that was the fact that Zerling was and still is injured and was not going to play for the subsequent weeks, although another motivation was the fact that he kept missing field goals. Didn't love that. Disagreed with it. Thought it was really annoying when he kept missing point afters. Point is, we needed to drop Zerling. And someone else in the league had dropped Brandon Aubrey. So we thought this was a perfect opportunity to put in a waiver claim for Aubrey and drop Zerling at the same time. Right? Except we might have forgotten which day the Jets were playing in week 9. And it turns out that the Jets were the Thursday night game that week. So we put the waiver claim in at the wrong time and only realized that when we turned on the TV and saw that the Jets were playing. That is when we figured out that we had accidentally left Greg Zerling in for week 9. Oops. We did eventually pick up Brandon Aubrey anyway. But Zerlin got us 0 points that week, mostly because he wasn't playing. Although, in all fairness, it's not like he was overperforming for us in the previous week, so. The second mistake came week 11, and this one, frankly, pisses me off way more than the Zerlin mistake. What happened was, someone dropped Rashid Shaheed. So we made the decision to pick him up because we thought that it was a possible keeper pick for next year. Except, Shaheed is injured right now, so we thought, we've got an open IR spot, let's put him into the IR spot. Except Yahoo wouldn't let me put him straight into the IR spot. I had to pick him up as a regular player and drop someone at the same time. And after careful consideration that maybe was less careful and more rushed, my father and I decided on dropping Juwan Jennings. Because we thought we would just pick him right back up on waivers because we currently have and have had priority waiver claim for the entire season because we suck. Except we've been dropping Juwan and putting in waiver claims every time we need to make a move, and we did not do our math right, and it turns out that we had reached the maximum number of times we could put a waiver claim in on Juwan Jennings. And so, naturally, because Juwan has been popping off recently, someone else put a waiver claim on Juwan. So we weren't able to pick him up as a free agent either, which is not surprising. If someone else in the league had been so stupid as to drop Juwan, I would have put a waiver claim in on him immediately as well. So yeah, we lost out on a great potential keeper because we're morons who can't keep track of the rules or of our waiver wire moves. Anyway, that was the quick recap of weeks 9, 10, and 11. And now I've wasted so much time procrastinating on this video that I figured I might as well quickly check in on how week 12's going. Spoiler, it's going bad. We're playing the guy who's currently in 11th, who barely ever checks his lineup, and who didn't even bother to pick up a defense to put in for Atlanta's defense, which, in all fairness, why should he? We suck. Week 1, he beat us with only 8 guys. Why shouldn't he beat us with only 8 guys in week 12? We're really bad. Yeah, anyway, we're losing. I don't think we can win. Technically, I'm filming this on Monday. Technically, Zay Flowers is playing tonight, and it's possible that he could get between 15 to 20 points, but it's not likely. And we're having a bad week for pretty much the same reason we've had bad weeks this entire season. No one is performing. Murray had kind of a game. Bijan wasn't playing, so I can't get mad at Bijan this week. But Debo had about as good a game as any of the other Niners, which is to say he had a not-so-great game. The Niners did get blown out by the Packers, which, that was to be expected. Literally everyone on the Niners is injured right now. I don't know what to tell you. My expectations were low and the Niners did not exceed them. My expectations were higher for Romeo Dupes, who we put in because we expected the Packers to blow out the Niners. What we did not expect was for Romeo Dupes to get concussed in the third quarter and get taken out of the game. Did not see that one coming. Really hurt our performance. And, yeah, everyone underperformed. It sucked. We're going to lose I think, our 6th game of the season to a guy who's only playing 8 people. That's great. Anyway, our what I can best characterize as dumb moves and 3 losses out of 4 weeks has inspired our final name change of the season. We are now Sell the Team. And I think it's a name that communicates to our fans that we are very similar to the 2024 A's, in that both of these teams are owned by incompetent morons, and fans of both of these teams would really appreciate it if the owners would sell the team. Unfortunately, just like John Fisher, I ain't going anywhere. Even though I have no clue what I'm doing, especially when it comes to fantasy football.